Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to learn about a new concept. So we will be beginning with the discussion on synchronous motors. So far we had discussions on DC motors, and I hope it is complete now. And if at all you feel that as per your university any of the topics are missing, please comment in those videos and I will try to cover as much as topics as possible. So we will be beginning with the synchronous motors now. And today we shall learn about principle of operation of synchronous motors. So before understanding the principle, let us recall the construction of a synchronous motor. So the construction of synchronous motor is exactly same as that of a alternator or a synchronous generator. So now synchronous generator is a device which converts mechanical energy to electrical energy. Now to that same synchronous generator, instead of deriving the electrical energy from it by giving mechanical energy, we can reverse the scenario. That is, we connect it to a electrical grid, absorb the electrical power and obtain mechanical energy. It becomes synchronous motor. So in general we call it as a synchronous machines. And synchronous machines, if it is converting mechanical to electrical energy, it is called as an alternator. If it is converting electrical energy to mechanical energy, it is called as synchronous motor. So construction wise there is no difference, but let us recall. So based on the type of rotor, synchronous motor can be categorized into two types. The first one is called as a salient pole construction. It's called cylindrical rotor construction. So before going to the rotor part, let us see what is there in the stator. Now in synchronous motor, stator is armature and rotor is field. Please keep this in mind. Unlike DC motor, it is different here. So in synchronous motor, stator is armature and rotor is field. So stator consists of steel lamination, silicon steel or cold rolled grain oriented steel lamination structures. We call it as a yoke. There are stator conductors forming the armature, and this is where we give supply, which is three-phase AC supply. So three-phase AC supply is given to the stator windings. So there will be stator windings, which is usually a three-phase distributed winding. Okay, so rotor will be of two types. First one is a salient pole construction. Second one is a cylindrical rotor construction. So in the salient pole construction, the poles of the rotor will be protruding outside from the shaft radially outwards. So a pole like structure, a physical pole like structure is present here, and it is protruding outside from the shaft radially outwards. So number of poles can vary depending on the design. Usually it is 2, 4, 6, 8, and larger motors may have larger number of poles. There is a winding here for the field, and this gives us the polarity depending on the direction of winding and direction of flow of current. This gives us the polarity of the magnetic field. DC supply is given to the field. So please keep this point in mind. For a synchronous motor, AC supply is given to the armature and DC supply is given to the field. So here in cylindrical rotor construction, this is also called as a smooth cylindrical rotor or non-salient rotor, where instead of having separate protruding structure, there is a drum like structure and the entire drum is wound by windings, thus making this drum as a two-pole magnet. Different version is also possible where we can categorize this drum as a 4-pole or 6-pole or 8-pole magnet also. but that is not shown here in the diagram. So here also for rotor we are giving DC supply. So this acts like a electromagnet or just like a bar magnet with having north and alternate north and south polarities. So this is the construction. So now this type of motors, the salient pole and cylindrical rotor. Since salient pole rotors have protruding structures, it is not safe to use these motors for high speed applications. So these motors will have larger diameter and shorter axial length. In such cases, these motors are used for low speed application and high torque. So low speed, high torque application, we are going for salient pole construction. So cylindrical rotor, these will have smaller diameter and larger axial length. So these motors are used for high speed applications. Similarly, if we speak about alternator, then cylindrical rotor is used for high speed applications. So usually it is employed in steam turbines, and salient pole motors are used for low speed application. So it is used in hydro turbines. So this is about the construction of synchronous machine. So now with that we have understood the construction. Let us understand how a synchronous motor works. So for timing, let us understand the working principle with the help of a salient pole rotor. And for simplicity, I have considered a two pole rotor. So as per our discussion in the previous slide, three phase AC supply is given to the stator distributed windings. DC supply is given to the rotor winding or field winding. So now there are two supplies used. So there will be two magnetic fields induced. So now what happens, that let us see. Okay, so understand this diagram properly. Three phase AC supply is given to the distributed winding of the stator and DC supply is given to the rotor. So let us retain the diagram. So I hope you remember the things now. Three phase AC supply to the stator and DC supply to the rotor. Now let us see the stator alone. Three phase AC supply is given to the stator. It will induce a rotating magnetic field. So now there will be a particular phases which will have R red phase, a particular set of windings will have yellow phase, and particular set of winding will have a blue phase. So RYB. So depending on the direction of winding, the magnetic field will be strong at one point and weaker at other points, and as the sinusoidal three phase wave moves, the strength of magnetic field will be different at different points and stronger point will keep on moving. This gives us a effect called as rotating magnetic field. So the magnetic field in the stator is rotating throughout its periphery because of three phase supply. So we know how a three phase sinusoidal waveform looks, and as a resultant of three phase sinusoidal waveform, a strong rotating magnetic field is induced in the stator. So now in a stator with the three phase AC supply, if we look on the outer periphery, it looks like a magnet is rotating throughout its periphery. So magnet cannot have a single pole, it will have usually two poles. So there will be one north pole and one south pole rotating facing inside. This particular action is called as rotating magnetic field. Next, the speed of rotating magnetic field is called as a synchronous speed. So this is given by the equation Ns is equal to 120 F by P, where F is the frequency of supply and P is the number of poles in stators. So that P is not the number of rotor poles, it is the electrical magnetic poles which are present in stator. So that speed at which the magnetic field rotates is called as the synchronous speed. This is a very important terminology. Next, a field current is DC now, so it is not varying with the time. It is almost constant. So the magnetic field produced by the rotor is a steady magnetic field. So now we have two magnetic field. The stator produces a rotating magnetic field and rotor produces a steady magnetic field. Both will have polarities. So now we know the property of magnets, that like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. Now there is a magnetic field rotating on the stator periphery and there is a magnetic field stationary in the rotor periphery. Naturally, magnetics, the unlike poles tend to attract. So rotor will tend to align with the stator field. So wherever there is a south pole of the rotating magnetic field on the stator periphery, the rotor's north pole will align. And wherever there is a north pole of the stator rotating magnetic field, the rotor's south pole will align with it. And as the stator field is rotating, the rotor will also rotate along with the stator. So this is the principle of operation of synchronous motor. So thus the rotor will rotate with the rotating magnetic field. So now rotating magnetic field is rotating at synchronous speed and rotor tends to align with the stator field. Thus the rotor will also rotate at synchronous speed. Since this motor rotates at a synchronous speed, this is called as a synchronous motor. So rotor is chasing the rotating magnetic field. Rotating magnetic field drags the rotor. So this is a hand-in-hand action which has to happen simultaneously, and for this to occur, the relative speed between RMF and rotor should be 0. So that means this synchronous motor will always rotate at synchronous speed or it will not at all rotate. So this is a unique property of synchronous motor. So now due to this rotor inertia, this rotor will be heavy, so it will not move so easily. And naturally when we give 50 hertz of supply, the rotating magnetic field will be very very fast and it is not possible for this rotor to catch up that magnetic field. So it will not rotate so easily and it will be stalled. So there should be a separate starting mechanism. Thus the synchronous motors are not self-starting. So the methods of starting for a synchronous motor, we shall have a separate discussion on it. So for the timing, let us assume that synchronous motor is started and its rotor is rotating at synchronous speed. So this is the principle of operation. Once the sufficient energy is given to the rotor to rotate, it will catch up with the stator magnetic field and it will rotate at synchronous speed. So what are the unique features of this synchronous motor? So synchronous motor either runs at synchronous speed or does not rotate at all. So that is by naturally that we call it as synchronism. Once the synchronism is lost, the motor will stop. The speed is always constant. So since the motor rotates at synchronous speed, its speed should be always constant and this speed is independent of no load. So at no load or at full load, the motor speed will be same. That is synchronous speed. So now this synchronous motor is not self-starting. So initial synchronization is required during starting. So the different methods of starting of synchronous motor is there, which we shall discuss on later videos. So this synchronous motor is the only motor which can operate at both leading and lagging power factor. That means it can supply the reactive power or it can absorb the reactive power. So usually most of the motors operate at lagging power factors. Synchronous motor is the only motor which can operate at lagging, unity or leading power factors. So this is one of the advantage where in industry where the power factor is dipping, it is possible to boost the entire plant power factor by using synchronous motor operating at leading power factors. So along with the supplying the industrial mechanical power demand, this will also give us the required reactive power into the system and thus balance the power factor. So motor stalls if it is operated beyond the maximum torque. So each and every motor has a unique capacity, because we know that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. So whatever mechanical energy the motor produces, it is equal to its electrical energy. And once the motor is overloaded, what other motors do is they draw more power from the supply in order to meet the load torque demand. But what happens to the synchronous motor is, once it is overloaded, it loses synchronism and it stops. So that is, either it will rotate at synchronous speed, it will try to rotate at synchronous speed up to the maximum torque which it can provide. Once the maximum torque is crossed, then the motor loses synchronism and it comes to rest. So that is called as stalling. So this is about the construction principle of operation and the main features of synchronous motor. So that's all we have got for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get the timely updates. Also follow our sister channel called as Saha Adhyayana for different subjects in electrical engineering. Thank you.